last 2 years, I have strictly been using this 24mm 2.8 pancake lens for my street photography. That has made the process of actually going out and taking photos so much less stressful, so much more fluent, and overall enjoyable because of that. I used to be somebody that would pack my bag with 3 different lenses when I would go out and shoot, just so I could have options if I saw something I wanted to take with a different lens, so that I could swap it and always have the option to take the photo if I wanted to. As time has gone on, I feel like my brain doesn't work that way anymore, and now taking different lenses with me when I go out to shoot just makes it more stressful and not as fun. It's become more of a damper on the experience, and I want to talk about that in this video today, and talk about why I truly believe bringing only one lens with me has made the process of taking photos on the street so much more enjoyable as a whole. So the first thing is mental clarity and the ability to focus more. As I said in the intro, I'm somebody that would pack my bag with a few different lenses, a few different focal lengths to give me options when I was out shooting. Usually it would be my 18 to 135mm zoom lens. That was like my end-all be-all. I would bring that with me everywhere because of its versatility. Then I would have an 85mm 1.8, which I would usually bring with me at night because of the lower aperture. And then I would even bring my 50mm with me just for the same reason as the 85, but just something that wasn't as cropped in. For context, I've been taking photos on the street for around 7 years now. And when I was doing that, when I was swapping all those lenses, it was really within the first 3 to 5 years, I'll say. And it kind of worked, kind of didn't. I still found myself being a little flustered sometimes, really trying to figure out which lens to use some days. And sure, it allowed me to take a bunch of different photos and have a variety of photos from the day, but it was a little stressful.
Hi guys, my name is Jared. I switch my lens about 25 times per shoot. See, I gotta switch back to my other lens. It's constant.
And what I found over time, especially now when I go out to shoot, is that I'm always thinking about what I could be taking with every other lens besides the one that's on my camera. So for example, if I have the 24mm 2.8 on my camera, and I also have a zoom lens in my bag, I'm literally seeing photos from across the street, like birds flying by, whatever, and I'm seeing someone walk through a patch of light across the street and thinking that I could be taking that if I had the zoom lens on, instead of focusing strictly on the 24mm that I have on my camera. Specifically, it gets stressful and confusing because I know I have the option to take other photos besides what I have the ability to do with a 24mm, which is strictly just seeing right in front of me. And that's why I love that lens today. But having those other lenses and having the option to take photos, I'm now a wreck when I try to do that. Because I'm thinking about all the other photos I could be taking, the photos that I'm missing with the other lenses that are in my bag, instead of the one that I have on my camera, and instead of focusing on that one lens that I have on the camera now. Like I said, if I'm using a 24mm 2.8 pancake lens, I'm only focused on what's in front of me. Compare that to an 85mm, I know I have so much more range and distance that I can see. And also because of the 1.8 aperture, it allows you to get different detail shots, and also because it's more compressed, it allows you to get layers easier, etc. Totally different shooting experience than having the 24mm 2.8, which is just very, I don't want to say flat, but it's just strictly what's right in front of you. It's just for a different purpose. So compare that to having just the one lens with me when I go out to shoot. It's my only option. It's the only thing I can do, so it forces you to work with that lens that you have on the camera. And that makes the process so much more enjoyable because you're focused in on the moment, you're more present. It allows you to just work with what you have, and you're not thinking about what you could be getting with other lenses. And as a result, I do think the photos that I've come away with usually are better because I was more focused, I was more present, as I just said, and it just makes the process so much more stress-free, and it's just a helpful tool to keep in mind. It's a different mindset with each lens that you use. And if you have 3 different lenses in your bag, it's like having different tabs open on a Chrome tab or on like your web browser, whatever. Just having the one lens, one tab, so much easier to manage and navigate when you're out shooting. The next is consistency and just comfortability with your camera and with your work. There's something so important to be said about being comfortable with your camera and gear. And the more you use one camera, one lens for an extended period of time, the more comfortable you'll get with it, and you'll know it like the back of your hands. Especially with street photography, because these moments are happening so fast. You don't want to be fidgeting with your gear. You don't want to miss a photo because you're not completely comfortable with the lens or the gear. You don't really know what's going to happen. In my experience, the more I've used this 24mm lens, I can just set my settings and go out and shoot. Because I know what to expect, it opens up so many doors and makes me so much more comfortable and confident when I'm out shooting with the one lens and one camera setup that I've been using. This isn't as important, but it is cool to see consistency with your work as well. For me, the last 2 years, I've specifically wanted to build on my body of work with a certain style of street photography. And using the 24mm lens has allowed me to get that look consistently for the last 2 years, which is just satisfying. And I'm not saying to limit yourself to one thing. It's going to be highly dependent on each person and what you want to do and what your style is. But for me, I've really enjoyed the process of limiting myself to just the one lens and the one camera and working with what I have. And it's cool to look back at my work over the last 2 years and just see the solid body of work that is consistent and looks like it was taken by the same person with the same setup. Not as important, but it's just nice to have that. And then just the last tip as well is it helps you pack light. This is simple. Simple, but very important. Because when you're doing street photography, you're going to be walking a lot, and having a lot of gear weighs you down. Especially if you're bringing more, you will most likely need a bigger bag. And if you have a bigger bag and you're walking a lot, it's going to hurt your back. Your shoulders are going to be sore, and it just you don't want that. It's not as fun. So when you pack light, bring one lens. You don't even need a bag sometimes. You can just go out with the one lens, one camera. So enjoyable, especially when it's hot in the summer. You only are holding the camera and the lens, and that's it. You don't have to worry about having a big backpack on. Most of the time I bring my sling bag just in case, if I have other things I want to carry, like hand sanitizer. If I buy a bottle of water, it's nice to have a small sling bag when you're out and about shooting. But it's so nice to just pack light, have the one lens, one camera. It allows you to flow freely. When you're out, you can walk as long as you want, and it just makes the process so much more enjoyable as a whole. So hopefully this video was helpful. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any more tips you'd like to share, please leave them down below. Would love to chat with you guys, and would be great if maybe other people could learn from what you have to say as well. If you enjoyed, give the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. Would love to have you. And leave a comment and say something random for the algorithm. It helps. Appreciate it. So with that, get out and shoot. Do more of what makes you happy. And I will see you next time. See you.